Alright, what's up, guys? Time for another video. A video where I talk about the real-life Yu-Gi-Oh cards people play and sarcastically and metaphorically compare it to the actual card game Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, I don't know, do some people actually play it anymore? I don't know. Do people watch reruns of the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon anymore? I don't know, but people are playing Yu-Gi-Oh in real life. This video that's in my series and playlist. Well, this video that's going to be in my series in my playlist, if you will, excuse me, is this time the Phobia card. And this card is going to cover maybe other Yu-Gi-Oh videos or Yu-Gi-Oh metaphorical videos, which I didn't do yet, or ones that I did yet. And when people play, I'm going to talk about how people play the Phobia card. And, you know, it covers a lot of phobias. And when people get into the political arena and pull the Phobia card, and if anybody's going to get pissed off or flip me off, and I'm flipping people off at the same time, if anybody's going to get that pissed and say I'm some kind of phobic because they're on the far left, if it's of any consolation to you, I'm going to compare this to, sarcastically, if you're paying attention, to the other ultra-conservative, radical left side of the tracks, if it's any consolation to you, alright, if I want to speak sarcastically, that, you know, how the far right, or the ultra-conservative that don't really like me anyway, a YouTuber I looked at once said, if when somebody starts saying listen and prophet, if people start using the words listen, prophetic, and obey, those three words in the same sentence, either approach them with caution, and then in my book, if you don't approach them with caution, stay the hell away from them, okay? So I'm just telling you, so I'm like that too. So if anybody wants to start any shit with me, I'll just clear that up. But anyway, it like that, but unlike that, I'm talking about because the opposite trait, right? So when people play the Phobia card on the leftist side of the tracks, as opposed to the far right or conservative side of the tracks, which I'd go ahead early in this video and head you off whether you like me or not. Okay, when they play the Phobia card, they're on the other side of the tracks, the far left side of the tracks. And I will say, if people are talking to you in any kind of way, or they want to use phobia in the vocabulary, in the sentence, or in an argument, they should be approached with caution, or just get the hell away from them fast as you can. Get out of their grasp. No different. And then let them and the conservatives duke it out, so to speak, and sit by and be entertained. But anyway, on with the... Yeah, when people play the Phobia card in this Yu-Gi-Oh game, anybody who, for political reasons, plays the Phobia card, whether transphobia, homophobia, xenophobia, when they emphasize and when they throw around the word phobia to intimidate other people, or to get condescending with people, or if they want to recruit you, when they recruit you, like my rule in all my videos too, you're never their equal. If they say they want to recruit you, and whether it's far left or far right, if it's of any consolation to anybody that wants to say I'm being transphobic or phobic of any kind. Yeah, I use those. This video is covering those phobias. The people who throw around the phobia word are actually very phobic themselves. They like to play the Phobia card, throw around the word phobia, whether transphobia, homophobia, this or that, as a smokescreen for their own phobia. When people when people pull out their ass the word phobia too much, and they use it as the front and center of their arguments in their political conversation, most likely they're more phobic than the people they accuse of being phobic. You know, the people they bash for being phobic, they seem awfully phobic of somebody else's ways. And here is though one of the things too that is very obvious too. A lot of us too, for example, if somebody's gay or they want to identify as another gender, I, for one, and a lot of other people out there, ain't gonna waste our lunch break, you know, like doing anything that's against the law, like murdering or bullying them or anything. But even though you're not one of those people, that's not good enough for these kind of people. It's not good enough just that you don't want to do anything against the law or don't advocate anything against the law, like beating up somebody, murdering or threatening to murder or bully them. No, that's never good enough. There's people, it's big business and big political clout for people to make sure there is still always going to be phobias, and that's why they want to invent more phobias. As a matter of fact, they bring, maybe let's say transphobia or homophobia. They're in their best interest to bring transphobia or homophobia or any kind of like phobia into any single argument. And they need to invent new ways to say people are phobic, whether it's transphobic, homophobic, or whatever phobics they are. And it's also used as a smokescreen for their lack of self-esteem. As a matter of fact, even if you're, like I mentioned, you don't do anything that's against law, you don't waste your lunch break attacking anybody who identifies anybody, even though it's not your thing. If you're living your life and doing your own thing, for these people, you're phobic because you don't give them the political attention. And the object of the Yu-Gi-Oh game here is to run every aspect of people's life and to rule everybody in sight. And to control the lives of people mostly that you never met. Just like the white leftist race card that I talk about, how they don't care about it. They pretend to care about other races, but use it, weaponize it to attack people that they never even met, as an object to run every aspect of somebody's life. You know what I mean? For the purpose of bringing everybody else down to the same level for their perceived dream of equality. Oh, never to bring anybody else up. To bring anybody else up, it's easy to bring everybody down to the same level. And also require everybody else that's can be deemed as phobic, anybody that they can pull out of the slot machine that they're jealous of, people that men, women walk around with their head too high. They have too much self-esteem. No, you can't have that. Instead of bringing up the people that they regard as victims, trying to bring them up some kind of way. And in fact, none of us advocate murdering any people that we don't like or bullying them. And a lot of us don't want to see them destitute either and not able to have a job and feed themselves. Like I said, that's not good enough. Everybody, you're required, when they play this card, you're required to self-degrade, bring yourself a couple notches down. And they'll preach equality, but they indicate that they don't want you just to be brought down a notch to be equal. They actually indicate that you should self-degrade, bring yourself down, physically, mentally, and self-esteem wise, down a couple notches, so that the people they talk about that's victims, the ones you're supposed to be phobic of, a couple notches above you. See, when they mean equality, they don't say what they really mean. They indicate right away, and some of them even, in so many words, admit it. You know. So it's just another. Like I said, these people that pull this card, some of them don't even identify as anything themselves. They don't have to. Some of them do. Some of them don't. It's just another ploy, like when somebody failed in life and. A case of Mr. or Mrs. I want to destroy what I don't have. Yeah, it's a case of I want to destroy what I don't have. I want to bring everybody down a couple notches because it's way easier to bring on anybody up a couple notches. And matter of fact, Just like how some people say self-esteem and a lot of other lists of things, physical, and you're too intellectual for somebody else's advantage, and you're, physically or mentally bring yourself up. Just like how the ones that say self-esteem and everything like that, and any physical strength or any kind of walking around with your head too high. How some people say it's racist, right? Well, these people think self-esteem, any kind of physical strength, physically bettering yourself, walking around with your head too high, and not worshiping in our altar. It's all transphobia. Even though you don't spend your lunch break, if you will, bashing gay people or bashing people that are trans or whatever phobia is. I mean, even the person that lives their life and minds their own business and doesn't threaten to murder anybody for who they are, they're still phobic, because it's a case of you don't give me the attention that I want, the political, and you don't, and if your eyes ain't on me on that TV set, you're living your life and doing your own thing. You're, even if you're not anti anything that we want to get on your case for, you're not going to get over on us or disprove us. No, you're living your life and doing your own thing. See, even though you're not doing anything even though you're not doing anything against the law or any kind of a thing, it's never good enough. You're phobic. You living your life and doing your own thing. Yeah, it's phobic. Just like some of them say it's racist. You know what I mean? And excuse me. Yeah, you gotta excuse me here, because when you see a lot of these videos where there's some people, or the people that actually believe this shit, you wonder if they're either trolling or these people are even for real, right? So you gotta excuse me. I'm trying not to laugh making a video, because the shit is so funny just seeing or hearing about it. And just to talk about it, there are some people on YouTube that can say all kind of shit without missing a beat. And I'll go on and write about things more than say it, but it's like when you go and talk about it, it's like a big joke, and you try to talk about it in a video, and you have little pauses. Yeah, your linguistics and intellect are pretty good, so to speak, but some shit that, even though nothing surprises you anymore, there's still shit to be like making you laugh. You know what I mean? You don't know whether half the people that believe this shit, they're either trolls or shills of some kind, shills for the... Yeah, it's another thing. These people, too, that play these cards, they're a shill for something. They have something to gain from it. I mean, if they don't have something to gain politically and socially and for the clout, their life sucks, so they want to bring somebody else down, and they want to just when they use the phobia card, for example, they want to bring, say, if they want to pull the transphobic card, they want to bring transgenders into it, and I mean, it's more of a smokescreen for their own contemptful jealousy and lack of self-esteem. You know what I mean? If they don't have political gain, it's about bringing somebody else down because they're miserable. Basically all it is.